Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another lovely mod stream. I have now reacted you, so you can react thumbs me dad on this video, aka give it a like. Hell yeah, homie. Alright, let's get into things. We got the intro going. What's been dropping recently? Well, later today I'll have an episode of Elo Heaven out. It was an April Fool's rendition of Elo Heaven with none other than my co-caster Squid. It was a pretty fun time. It's the first time I've had to cut shit out of a talk show, like massively cut shit out of a talk show. There's probably like 15 minutes of missing content. So that's pretty good. And I also appeared on a different talk show, and that dropped yesterday. It's the episode of It's Server Time with me both producing and guesting. So you can check that out if you like CS content. I'm not 100% sure what the crossover is of people who like Elo Heaven and like that stuff or whatever, but figured I'd throw it out there. That's something that indeed exists. What's up, Veek? How you doing? So, there have been quite a few developments since our previous mod stream. In fact, since the previous mod stream, we started to use this Trello site. Veek sent me an invitation to start messing around with stuff. And so far, it just seems like a bit of a weird one. It's like one of those hipster productivity tools, but I do enjoy actually having it up so that I can see some active tasks that I can handle or that I can yell at other people to handle. We don't have DF, for example, in here, but we do have Balethal, we have myself, we have Iquare, we have Veek. So that's pretty cool. That works out. If DF did join, he'd just get attached to every fucking task anyway because he's got to do all the art, so whatever. And yeah, speaking of Balethal and arts, he actually has been working on the Ecclesiast model, as you can see there under graphical on the right. So that's pretty exciting. You might not even be able to see it depending on how the chat plays with this site. Well, just barely. It is sort of obscured by the chats over here. But nonetheless, it's pretty cool stuff. So today, I'm going to tackle stuff related to game state. I haven't heard anything back from Iquare, but we did work on CCMU yesterday, or 2 days ago. Oh, 2 days ago, and I worked on it 2 days ago. Iquare worked on it yesterday, so we've been working on it. And then Veek's been refactoring GPTP in general, so there's tons of bugs to fix, but I think we've documented all of them. That's of course famous last fucking words using GPTP of all things. But hopefully what seems to be happening is that we're getting to a closer state of like better performance, better, safer code. Like the coding ethics are improving. There's a lot of improvements under the hood that might not translate to like significantly better tangible products for the end user, but it will make our lives easier programming it, and it's nice practice and nice standardization ahead of working on the new engine a little bit more frequently, which I imagine we will get into full swing later this week. I think maybe on or after Easter, I'll probably publish a channel map. I'm usually on the ball with those in the first day or two of the month, but this month has just been a little bit more frenetic as it has begun, so that's kind of why that's been like that. But enough about that. Let's get into the actual shit. So as you can see, there's a bunch of stuff here that I want to do as far as these new units go. The Convolesque seems like its ability implementation and data are all set, but I do need graphics, I do need AI usage, so I can tackle this. And that first means I can start working on the AI usage by hopping into config and then finding where is the morph train AI here. Okay, so it would be something like this. See, matroleth convolesque. And then the equivalent ID here would be like, let's say matral nest, convil nest, and acus nest. And then in GPTP, we can pop in and actually make the building. I think I've already done this, actually. I guess I can fire up the test map real quick. And just also mute Starcraft. I had it unmuted earlier so that I could test the new Aurora unit responses I did yesterday. So where are we at? So the matral nest, it does seem to be able to mutate into the matral nest, or the conval nest, or whatever the fuck I'm mutating in right now. I don't know. Yeah, conval nest. And then I don't know. This one is Achis nest. Obviously, the graphics are going to change. I guess maybe this conval nest thing could... well, I guess I could just restart. But yeah, I think maybe the Achis nest or the Convil nest could stay the same, and we could just have it animate or something. But might just be better to get rid of it. Oh, okay. So this one doesn't work. That one probably means that in building morph. Let's see. Well, it would be an API anyway, but what the fuck? That's not. Oh, this is old shit right here. So yeah, it looks like I will have to update this anyway. So we'll say Zerg matral nest. Zerg. Oh yeah, just duplicate this whole line. Zerg Achis nest. Okay. I guess I also would like to one thing I can add to Trello real quick. I'll say we'll finally eliminate 3-tiered morphs from Zerg. Okay, throw that in there. Yeah, so I think this is fine. That fixes that. Then we can hop into API, which I should have pinned, to be honest. We'll find... It's like... I'll just search for Achis nest. It's probably in here somewhere. Yeah, here we go. Is this a building morph source? So obviously, we have to do... Let's see here. This is whack. Should not be set up this way. Where's my organization, homie? So we got the colonies. And we go straight from... Like, these are obviously there. That's there because of some other reason. But why are we going straight into Ultrac stuff? That doesn't make any sense. So I get Gezeth Roost. That should be underneath that, though. Faculton and Lake's Den should be together. Where's the Bloom is there. Obviously, Vorval Pond could be up here with Nathrock Lake. And I do think that Othstal Lava Forum and Alazal Arbor should probably be like up there or something. Okay. So we've done that. Now, where were we? So Iral Iris should be plopped up here. And then we have Zoria Shroud is fine there. We'll put that below Ultrac Cavern. Spawning pool can go over here. Spire shit can go there. And then we can do Zerg Control Nest. All right, so we've reorganized that. Yeah, again, I think this might have been originally sorted for... I don't know why it was sorted like this ever, to be honest. This doesn't really make any sense. Aboleth, Ireleth. Hydralisk should be above Mutalisk, because Zerglung should be above Hydralisk. Ultracore should be above Zerusthaleth. This is fine. And then Zerg Matroleth. Okay. I think that should be fine. Oh, God. Let's do it again. Vorvaling Nathracor up top. Well, actually, technically, Ireleth Othstaleth up top. And then Vorvaling Nathracor. Cagelisk, Cascathalor, Gazithalor. So this should obviously be above that. Cagelisk up here. This underneath. Yeah, right there is fine. And then okay, we've done it. So we've added the morph train AI, we've added the equivalent IDs. Now we need the Matrilla Eth convol disk. Okay. You know, for a time, there was a point where we were initially meant to have everything inside A's, port all of GPTP functionality to A's, and then run everything through fucking Rust. Sure am glad that never happened. Let me move this over here. Okay. Let's build this, and then I'll put shit together over here. So we've got... oh, I don't think I've done the unit morph stuff yet, but I could be wrong about that. Let's see. Oh, here we go. The Zerg Matroleth. If it's a Zerg Convolusk, then the unit ID should be the egg, and else it should be the cocoon. Pretty reasonable. Yeah, I feel like there's got to be some way to actually define that, but I could be wrong. You still have to translate the hook functionality from whatever the original code was into Rust, which is the main problem. So you don't have to wrap it, but you do have to you have to translate it to Rust, which is the main issue, to be honest. That was always where I fell apart. What? Oh, what's up, Iguare? It's probably possible, but yeah. Ikewear, we had an idea for using the refactor stuff that Vika's been working on. We had a couple of ideas for map craps. One of which being that all non-building units are turned into can split like simulacrums can. So you just start. Obviously, that would be pretty fucking ridiculously powerful. But... yeah, Nave implemented like the code for it. That's why I assume it's possible to handle that in C++, but implement or fix unit building morphs. Just say set up unit building for oh shit! I just pulled, but more things have occurred. Rewrite globals, by the way. Jesus Christ, I was just going to build this very simple change, but now... let's see here. Next Antikythera stream, we have to do some setup to reconvert it back to C++ because Go doesn't seem to have any of the utilities we actually need. But... I don't actually know if that is more readable, but I guess I can do this. There you go. How's that for readable code, fuckers? I don't even know what this is. The origin unit ID doesn't even exist. These don't morph into anything anymore. Whatever. It does look pretty ugly, to be honest. Did you have any luck on... oh, you actually sent me a message. Oh, you're still testing it. Okay. It's cool that there's still been progress, though. Oh, yeah, I haven't actually added that back yet. Let's see here. We'll say enable AI usage of neutral morphs. All right, now we have to go. We have the walk of shame for searching for graphics. Yeah, I think. Oh, actually, I don't even think Veek was insane enough to suggest that on actual April Fool's, Iquare. But he did say something about... Oh, no, maybe he did. I don't remember. Somebody said something about rewriting things in Rust, but I can't remember if it was the new engine or if it was something related to HYDRA. Either way, no. What's wrong with you? I can't believe I don't have a use for this unit called Crow. Prima e prilis. E prima e prilis babu. What is this? Is this fatty? Yeah, it's fatty. I still can't believe this is a real unit. This is like a submarine with like the little the telescope thing, or I don't even know, is it called a periscope or there's some scope that goes above the water and looks at stuff. There's always Mongo Centaur. Yeah, there is. Yeah, forgot about that one. I haven't actually added that much Iquare. I put together the shadow tree. I don't know if you've seen this. This is a while ago, so you may have missed that. And I came up with a couple of ideas for 2 new infantry units for tier 3. But since we have limited unit IDs, I'll have to stop after adding the Claymore and the Siren for Terran, and then leave a couple for other races and some other junk. This is anime unit. It was never implemented. But yeah. This is a psychotic unit. I don't even know what it does. This is like... You could easily imagine that this is some sort of like whack mutant mutalisk or something. I don't even know. Maybe not mutant. Because it has feathers, dude. It has actual feathers instead of like defined eagle razor feathers or something. It looks very goofy. Then there's this, which is obviously anime unit. And then there's this. Zorgi. Oh yeah, this is the anime patron. Or Reddit patron. I don't know what the fuck it is. Oh, maybe this is something. Wait, what? That's the animation? What even is it? It doesn't even do anything. Get it out of here. I never implemented this. Or I never used this for an anime unit, so that could be used, I guess. And then this. Here we go. The Smoochy boy. Maybe I should actually have... I might have to use a Smoochy boy graphic, guys. I might have to. I don't want to, but I might have to. Oh, it doesn't have a bounce. Yeah, I guess it probably should, huh? Here we go. Tony! If I recolor Tony, maybe we can make him work. I don't know what he would be. This guy might be the Cathrostalor. The guy who fires units and then like the units smack into fucking... He launches units from his mouth. Except really he should eat units from his mouth, so whatever, I don't know. Yeah, exactly. Can you believe, Iquare, that my idea for making some anime units work was just recoloring a bunch of like Outlive assets to pizza? I just pizza-ified like the Outlive soldier for the fanboy, and you can't even really tell. And then I pizza-ified the worker for the cosplayer. It's pretty stupid, but it was funny. It worked, sort of. Not really. I was thinking I might have to use the Scantalisk, even though it's mostly team color. And then they didn't even make a fucking burrow animation for it. That's embarrassing. I guess it's not that bad. Oh, the walk animation is pretty bad. Yeah, the walk animation is embarrassing. When it's just standing still, it's less embarrassing, but... They literally rotated, like, the feet, like, down or something? I don't know. That looks more like a burrow animation than a walk animation. You can tell that they just took the Lakizalisk animation here and then faded that in, whatever. Well, Man and Warp Relay... Okay, Man is a good graphic, dude. But Warp Relay is like... You just did something for map crap. These guys had like months, maybe years to work on their fucking mod, and then that's what they came up with, so... I think that's pretty bad. Oh shit! I forgot about this guy. He's a cool dude. I'm still kind of surprised that Impact of Power hasn't been more like fully data mined or whatever. Surely there are some assets in there. What's up, Walker? Yeah, you just wanted something that had the readabilities. What's up, Iron Torch? Alright, boys. We still haven't really found a solid graphic for what we need, which is not really that much of a surprise. Still, I think that Scantalisk graphic is probably the closest we have to anything usable, which really does suck. There are a couple of others that I have lying around here. I guess I can take a look at what else we got in the units section here. There is this guy. He's a pretty weird looking motherfucker. Where the lighting apparently changes frame to frame or something. I don't know what the fuck that is. And his animations are really silly. I don't even know what the fuck I would use him for, to be honest. But what graphic I need? Something for the Convolutk and something for the Achistracore, which are Matrolith morphs. So the Convolutk has this behavior where when targeting combatants that are below half HP, their attacks apply Parasite, which means that it still has to arm and everything else. So the idea is that if you micro them well, or you only have a couple in your army or whatever, you can just get bridlinged on the front lines. It's a ground unit, though, even though it's morphed from the Matrolith. The Orchestra Corps is an air unit, and basically they have this ability to infest a target if they attach themselves to it. Which right now, the working idea is that they can't attach to anything until they've actually landed an attack on them. But that does feel a bit arbitrary since the attachment's also melee. So I'll probably just remove this entirely and just make it so that they have this active ability that attaches to the target. During this time, the target can attack, but can't attack the Orchestra Corps that's attached. And basically, my thought process is that this is sort of some sort of like melee flyer that attaches to a target and then just starts beating the shit out of it with its claws and stuff. And like when the target sustains fatal damage, they become infested and start regenerating their life over and over again. I don't know if maybe I want to instantly restore 10% life and then regenerate up to 50% over 5 seconds, or what. I don't exactly know how I want to implement that, but either way, we would need something that looks like a melee air unit, which are pretty not common, unfortunately. Actually, I just realized there is something that might work for this. I don't remember where it is though. It's a pretty bad graphic, obviously. Here it is, the mosquito. It doesn't even have an animation, so maybe it won't work. And it doesn't. I can't really tell if it's meant to be like a vehicle, like an aircraft or something, like a drone maybe, or if it's meant to be something else. It always looked like a Zerg unit to me, to be honest, but whatever. So yeah, maybe that won't work after all. Anyway, I need a melee unit. No, yeah, the Orchestra Corps just goes back to flying like normal. I could use Smoochie Boy for the Orchestra Corps if it push came to shove, yes. That would be a possibility. Maybe that's what I have to use. I still don't know what the fuck this is. Oh, that's reasonable. This is very clearly a busted graphic. Doesn't even work. I like how you have to replace the siege tank if you want to use that. That's pretty good. But you don't have to, but in theory, that's what you're supposed to do. I still can't believe how fucked this graphic was. I used this graphic for like a bit for the Acid Elder, but it is fucked, man. Like whoever put this together had no quality control. And it's obviously just a kit bash or whatever, but let's check the DLDB. Maybe I'll find something that I don't see here. I don't know why I have a bullet folder inside a unit. So just call that MISC, I guess. Oh, it's actually the same thing as this, but it had like one extra thing or something. Yes, I believe so. And obviously it's pretty fucked. I was thinking of recoloring this graphic, but I'm pretty sure it's pretty tiny. I guess I can take a look at that because maybe I can use it for something else as well. Where's the fin? It also appears to be looking not straight on, but maybe that's just an illusion. Yeah, I don't know. It is pretty small. The fuck? Photoshop just crashed? Silently? Oh, get out of here, dude. Fuck, I didn't want you to be inside that view. Okay. Let's see what happens when we do this. No, whatever. I'll just add a bunch of colors. We'll Q shift to our little heart's content. It doesn't quite look like the correct perspective. Also looks like the team color got fucked by the palette in a few places. We could autocorrect that, I guess, just using the paint bucket tool. Yeah. So my name is Lil. What, you mean the little, like the... I guess it is just an outline. It's actually pretty useful for contrast. Even the Starcraft graphics have it. This seems a bit overkill, but... I guess that is supposed to be a grabby boy, isn't it? We'll save our fin recolor work here and see what we can do there. I didn't even think to look in the Five Nations assets for some reason. Mongolith. The problem is it's so small, dude. So tiny. What we really need is a large man. Maybe the Godzilla? I guess this looks... Oh yeah, maybe this will do. You could like play that animation as its loop or something. Yeah, let's check that out. Yeah, unfortunately, the Mongolith is too stupid in general. I did also think about using the Mind Flayer. Let me take a look here. Since I never converted it. That's Raider Gorgorcore. That's Tony. Here's the Mind Flayer. Although I think maybe we wanted to use that as the... Oh, it looks like some of these frames got fucked. I don't know what happened there. Might have to re-export that one. But either way, I think we were maybe going to use that for the Alazaleth. Yeah, it's basically the Mind Flayer from D&D. Or Cthulhu or whatever. Cthulhu! Cthulhu. Okay. I was also looking for some tanks, but I don't imagine there are any good ones anywhere. I guess we could probably use something. Yeah, the least memorable of all Cthulhu clones. I'm pretty sure I used your export tool for that one, but I can check that at a later date. It's not really that important. What really sucks is that vital device was rendered at a stupid ass angle, so everything is wrong because they've got some actual graphics here, guys. It's very unfortunate. Like, check this guy out. Well, I guess that was only his... Oh, wait, no, he's got more. Here's a Mongo man. I could use this infantry unit, but he's rendered at the wrong angle, so he sucks. It's a very good graphics pack. Five Nations worked out splendidly. That guy told me to check out his portraits in that blockchain game, but I couldn't find them, so I'll just have to play it later and then ask him, I guess. UQuare folder. This is all of the recolors I did for you a while ago, and then like stuff like the market or whatever that you asked. I think you asked for team color on that or something. Forgot I was forgot I was doing Starcraft 2 units a while ago. I have not played Blockchain. I'm pretty sure it's 3D anyway, so unless his models are like easily accessible, then it might not be that useful. I've got Balethal working on a model that I just found on the internet. It's I think it's a Warhammer 40,000 model. It's like some Tau trooper maybe or something. I don't know what it is, but it's being repurposed for the what was I gonna say? The Ecclesiast graphic. It's Tau Man 3. Oh, okay. I'm glad you somehow know this. Check out my Vorvaling. Giga Shark. I was thinking we should remap the simulacrum graphic to be more like faded yellow if possible. I think I have the PSD for that somewhere. It's probably in here somewhere, right? Or maybe it's in the actual graphics archive. Packages. Outlive. Units. Chaos! Here it is. Starcraft is spying on you. That is true. Oh. This doesn't actually have the remapping. Oh, what's up, Apostolique? I am not on the Send Discord. I would like to stay away from virtual aids where possible. I have been privy to some screenshotted conversations about how you should make maps not possible to lose so that casuals don't get upset and leave. And how else will we revive the map making community? And I think it's a good idea I'm not there. I would either just not engage, at which point there's no value in me being there, or I would yell at them and call them all idiots. In which case, I guess that's funny, but still not really any value being there. Right? Yeah, I only do work on 1.16.1, so there's not much point in me being there for an event, I don't think. Yeah, I don't know what you mean by simulations. If you're talking about simulacrums, then Veek fixed their splitting earlier. Oops. Thankfully, I don't think there's that much correction I have to do on this graphic. It's just a couple of stray blue pixels in the middle of nowhere. From the original recolor that I didn't catch at the time. This unit is taken from another RTS. So it's not mine. But yeah, you would have to, I'm assuming this also began with a model. You have to have it be a model, otherwise it's a ridiculous amount of work, given all the frames that you need. What's a good color for this? Maybe that. A darker color. Yeah, we could probably do something like that. Well, people sometimes try, and then they fail. That's usually how that goes. Oh, you're talking about broken in the gameplay balance sense. No, they've been adjusted a long time ago, so you need not fear the hordes of simulacra. The golden days of them annihilating everyone are gone. I'm trying to use appropriately bright colors where possible, but oh, I have to save this as something else. A classic. I still don't know why that section of the old hard drive is locked off. Pretty whack. Windows is a nice operating system. One thing that I have appreciated is that when it comes to rendering a sprite for such a tiny game, you really don't have to worry about textures at all. Your lighting configuration can do most of the work for you. All right, there it is. I think I got it all. Oh. Except for that one. I guess the old version of HYDRA. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Oh, perfect. It actually made it look more gold. That's awesome. Thanks, Pallet. You're a real pal. It's too bad we need 67 different files to, or programs to make a GRP. Well, obviously we played a ton of the really old ones. Balethal, or not Balethal, Dynamo and I played a bunch of the old school FPS games, Doom, Wolfenstein, that sort of stuff. But we didn't get much farther, I don't think. Let's see what we got here. Vic sent me some info about well, Vic, I don't know. Maybe you just fixed it and didn't push something, or maybe I didn't pull something, but it's pretty obviously still broken, so let's take a look at our simulacrums. I would say that fits a lot better now. Also, here's a look at the Ecclesiast graphic. It doesn't have an animation yet, but what's wrong with it? It's just because it's being created for an add-on that doesn't exist anymore, so I haven't updated the test map yet. I mean, I don't know why you're DMing me instead of messaging the YouTube chat. What the fuck? Just stim Marines. They should immediately fly to the medic. If not, well, let me see here. Got some. What did you do here? Let's see. Close that for now. Yeah, stim some Mavericks, homie. Thank you for reminding me, Iquare. Yeah, we're trying to figure out what the problem is with some of this junk. It looks like you standardized types now. Is that what you did? Across the whole fucking project? Yet another refactory. That's why I'm building forever. Well, let's see how many crashes I get now. Personally, I would have fixed the existing bug reports, but I guess this is something you also needed to do eventually anyways, so whatever. Yeah, that's really whack behavior. I don't know why that happens. Speaker. Oh shit, that doesn't crash anymore. Well, now it's manageable. No, you absolutely should continue with the CCMU extender. We need that shit like 2 years ago, homie. Well, I think the blackjack still doesn't work, but let me see. Oh, nice. I couldn't figure out why that animation bug happens, but... Oh, I think I didn't add the latest CMD icons or something, because I have the command icon, actually, so... 195. That's probably just a fire graph thing. Scrap. 195. There we go. So the blackjack is this goofy looking walker. It's the dog walker from I forget what that graphic is. Or that game is. Final Odyssey. So we got the blackjack. Its passive is wear and tear, so it'll actually lose HP. It has pretty high base stats, essentially. It'll probably move a little bit faster in the final cut. And then it's supposed to lose movement speed and attack speed based on missing health. As you can see, it doesn't. Or if it does... Oh, maybe it does. No, it doesn't. At least not for attack speed. Yeah, the attack speed is slowed, but the movement speed isn't. It's probably like an update flingy missing or something. The other two units are the cohort and the aspirant. The cohort's obviously an infested marine. He's supposed to be shooting 2 pistols, but obviously he's got a rifle because it's the graphic. And then he's got... he passively regenerates, and he also receives double healing from all sources. The passive regeneration is probably going to be handled through GPTP in addition to the regenerate flag, but that's okay. That's just to make it so that he regenerates twice as fast. This might already be done. I actually don't know. He's supposed to receive double healing from not just deliberate sources of healing, but also the passive heal from that. And then we've got the aspirant, which is not fully implemented yet either, but basically it's a reskinned version of that graphic from Voyager. It deals normal damage instead of explosive, but it deals slightly less damage, 15 instead of 20. That's kind of the trade-off. I think it'll make it attack faster than the Dracodon does, by comparison. And then when it dies, it detonates, leaving behind an area of effect damage field. Which currently is not fully implemented. It's supposed to deal damage a bit faster and for less time. Right now, it's actually permanent because I can't figure out how to remove it, which is something I reported to you earlier, Ikor. It's infested Terran, essentially. Like, it's like I guess the subtext is kind of vague, but basically the idea is that some people will use cohorts in the context of experiments, and then they've managed to do that. Some factions, like the Nidus Trinity, will use cohorts as like willing infested people who are willing to subjugate themselves to the Zerg, which is probably why you'll see. Like, I don't know what I want to do about this, but I do kind of want cohorts to be used by Zerg sometimes. I just don't think it's feasible to handle that, so you'll probably just have to use the HYDRA cores. The swarming unit you're talking about is basically the old Legionnaire concept, and the reason why that aspect of the Legionnaire was removed was because the it was invisible in terms of how powerful it was. It was really hard for like readability at a glance to know how much damage a Legionnaire was doing because it did change so wildly, especially after the upgrade. So yeah, I wouldn't want to use that just because conceptually it kind of goes against the whole swarming idea and the scale that I'm trying to reach. It's very difficult to intuitively understand that sort of thing. It's actually the same issue that we see with the Barghest right now, where it receives additional range based on the number of nearby Barghests. For one, I think that it's an interesting interaction, but I think it's bad from the perspective of, what would you call it? I think it's bad from the perspective of readability and also from the perspective of interacting with multiple ideas. I think maybe Barghest should benefit from the range buff based on all nearby robotic allies. And then maybe then it's a bit better in terms of interacting with other units so that you don't just have to build Barghests. Like a single Barghest can benefit from a bunch of vassals or something. I think that's probably better. In addition, it's hard for readability, and that's the main issue, is like, unless we get some sort of stacking transparent effect that builds up and up and up and can scale infinitely, because in theory you can have that scale infinitely. Yeah, it's pretty difficult to figure that one out. But I guess maybe it's possible. I don't know. It's just something it's a challenge we have to figure out as time goes on, more or less. There you go. Yeah, I don't like the whole idea of infested Protoss being like, oh, you can't infest Protoss. That's not allowed. Like, that's pretty stupid, I think, in the lore or whatever. So yeah, we will have some infested Protoss. Fear you not. All right, so I'm going to take a quick bathroom break because I drank too much water. When I come back, we'll see what else is up. And yeah. We've got a slightly updated Chaos recolor for the Simulacrum. I think that came out pretty well. We've also not got an HYDRA core graphic, but I think we can use that Gosvaleth one, since we're not going to be implementing the advanced workers until AI support is added anyway. And yeah, I guess I'll just keep looking for a Convalesce graphic then. Maybe I'll find some stupid shit that I missed in here. I don't know. There's there might be a few ideas. Unfortunately, this I'm imagining there's nothing. Unfortunately, there's a sword guy. Don't need that. I kind of want like a quadruped or something. And all these things are bipeds, right? I'm glad there's a unit called Raw Flesh. Oh, I understand why. He's walking around with some fucking whips, dude. That man's ready to whip you raw. This is stupid. I can't believe they actually made that. They actually did that. Imagine if the only thing I can do is use this. Like, he's gonna grab you. You can still infest buildings, you just infest them with an HYDRA core. What's the problem? Alright, I'll be back in a sec. Until then, you can look at this lovely page of tasks that everybody has to do. I have returned, homies. Back in 2018, you were working on a project which featured a lot of new turn structures. It was basically a huge standalone free-for-all map. I actually like the idea of doing more stuff like that, but the problem is, like, I would always want to add a bunch of, like, faction-specific units. Can't believe you added me to this. This isn't even mine. Alright, hold up. So we've got an HYDRA core graphic, but we don't have a Convolutk graphic. So here is a HYDRA core. Oh, HYDRA Zerg. Oh shit, I had another HYDRA core graphic apparently. I wonder what it was. Oh shit, yeah, get rid of that, dude. That was like, oh my god, I can't believe I'm forcing myself to use that. That was an ultimatum. That was an ultimatum, okay? I sat there and I thought, huh, what the fuck am I gonna force myself to use so that if I have to stare at that graphic in game for even a second, I know I must find a better placeholder than this. And that was the graphic I chose. Jesus. Well, the problem is, I have no idea what I'm doing. I guess I could try learning Blender instead of 3ds Max, but they all seem pretty fucking arcane to me, man. It seems like a ton of work if you don't know what you're doing. Even when you do know what you're doing, it seems like it's a lot of work. So I don't know, homie. Maybe I should go browsing for more models. What do you guys think? Should we go look for more models that we might be able to use? Might be able to bully either Veek or Balefal to turning into a RTS asset. What was I gonna do anyway? What even were I think I searched like Warhammer 40k 3D models, and I found CG Trader. Oh yeah, these aren't actual models though. Oh wait, I can't actually look this up on YouTube/Twitch because there's just porn in these search results sometimes, and then I just get fucked. So I can't look at it on screen anyway. Made your first model in 2 days? Yeah, but you're you, dude. And I'm me. Okay? You. Imagine that being a legitimate counter-argument. Yeah, it's probably something that if I just get into, I'll be fine, but it's pretty shit. I hate it. What is this? Oh, Wigglehead. It's the Wigglehead homie. Ooh, Wiggle. That graphic wouldn't even be that bad if it didn't wiggle so much during the walking animation. What a fucking man. What a man that is. Meanwhile, you guys like my fucking big larva? Yeah. Well, the new version of Blender is completely different anyway, so can't even transfer skills. All right, let's take a look. Maybe we'll find something. There is the Dadthra core. It's possible. There's the flapper. The flapper looks pretty fucking psychotic. And this unit is pretty psychotic too. I don't even know if it's rendered at the correct angle. It looks pretty fucked. Tentacle ship. And then Tony. Yeah, anime mutos. So can't use anything there. Yeah, I think we have to go back to the Scantalisk, even though it's pretty small. It's like the closest thing we have to anything serviceable. Even though it's not serviceable, like patently not serviceable. Uncraft. Reddit moderator. I did forget some of the names, to be honest. So we obviously need to make a burrow animation for the convolvulus, since the default burrow animation is literally just a hydralisk animation. That's if we even want it to burrow. I don't even know if I bothered putting that up here as an ability. It doesn't look like it. Oh yeah, I guess the other thing I can do real quick as well is we can go to Frauds Club site, HYDRA, data, abilities, Zerg, and then units, Zerg, history core. There we go. Yeah, he had a good time there. The anti-Chthon might be the most ridiculous concept I've ever had, to be honest. It's an inhumane creation. Basically, anti-Chthon comes from Greek. I don't even know if it's like theology or. I think it's just a thought experiment they had or something that they hypothesized as a counter Earth, meaning something that was exactly opposite the Earth in terms of rotation around the sun. So when they had their heliocentric model, the anti-Chthon was proposed, and it literally just translates to counter Earth. When I read about that, it made me think of anti-Chthon as a term for something that is counter to all of what we would, as humans, think of as natural, as even possible. And so the anti-Chthon is supposed to be something that's not just inhumane, but like just otherworldly, you know, something that is clearly not of our realm. So we have the counter proposal passive, which allows anti-Chthons to passively heal organic allies within 4 range for 4 life per second. And upon being healed to their maximum life, the affected targets are assimilated into the anti-Chthon. And it gives it... This will probably have to change, the percentage here. But basically, it's each stack of counter proposal gives it increased life, attack speed, and weapon range. And then you can activate failure mode to consume all current stacks of counter proposal, and then while this mode is active, it assimilates all combatants that are slain within 8 range, regardless of allegiance. This will probably be reworked slightly to maybe be like a temporary mode that's based on it lasts as long as like a base time plus 1 second per stack consumed initially, so that if you already have 10 stacks, you get 10 extra seconds to harvest the corpses of nearby targets for stacks. And basically the idea is if that happens, at the end of this mode, right, you have all of the stacks normally, and then the mode, it doesn't go on cooldown, but obviously it's just limited in utility. And you are losing all of the stacks initially. And then obviously it just has regeneration because it's based around Zerg technology. And then, yeah, you can see behind the origin and inversion of all that we know. Was I thinking about adding Mercury? I was actually thinking about adding Mercury. I thought maybe that would round out the Iron Foundry, but I've stopped myself from jumping down that particular rabbit hole right now, just because we don't really have a full setup of targets just yet. Like we don't have full unit IDs. We're missing a lot of stuff. It's just I would prefer to smack up a couple of things before we're actually going anywhere. All right, this is... I want to export this as... I can't really do anything if I export this as a frame set because there's no actual color on it. So I guess I'll just export it as it is. Reason being, I am paranoid about whether or not this was encoded using some bugged program, so... It's not using anything right now. It's not implemented. I don't really have a proper unit ID for it. I might have even put something in the unit def, but it'll be removed and reused for something else eventually. Because in order for me to have the anti-Chthon, I would then have to also implement the biotic base, and I would probably also want to have the Tarask. And if I'm doing one of that, I'd probably want to have the Tinker's Tower, Striga, and Luminary. There's a lot of shit going on here where... Yeah, basically we need more... We need more fucking frames, dude. I mean, we need more unit ID entries. And it's going to be a long time till we get any, right? So, all right, let's say this is Scantolisk. Now, we can export this as 1 BMP per frame. Scantolisk shad. Scantolisk shad. I do not have graphic for Tarask. I think there is an infested tank graphic somewhere, but if not, I could probably whip one up if necessary. It's basically, ideally what I would want is a siege tank with, like, you know the way that the Spore colony basically has, like, little, where would it be? Here it is. It has this, like, little tower that actually shoots the, well, I guess it's supposed to, for my money, I imagine the spores are supposed to emit from the tower. That's what I would assume anyway. I would want to take that and then, like, have a 3D model variant of that so that I could assign it to a tank as an attachment or whatever. So, yeah. I think that would make the most sense. And then the spores can come out of those. Well, you can just read the description, right? It's a biotank. It has a basic cannon that attacks ground targets, and then it has this accelerated plasmid that attacks ground and air targets. And the secondary weapon can fire at up to 5 nearby targets at the same time. So it's sort of like the Madrigal, but with a limitation on it. I don't know how I feel about the limitation, but I feel like I'll justify that with maybe instead of it being up to 5 nearby targets, it will instead be like... It will fire 5 projectiles, and those projectiles will either hit the same target or they'll hit like a dispersal of targets or whatever. They'll like iterate through the nearby targets or something. Yeah, it has to be eaten. It has to eat some stuff, homie. All right, let's whip up a shadow for this Scantolisk, and then we'll implement it and cringe at its walking animation. So we have to run through a lot of frames. I guess I'll get rid of these because these aren't... Well, I guess I also have time. Let me take a look. I wanted to see... I don't think that the shadow even shows during an animation. Oh, well, it does there, but... I wonder if that's my doing. Let me see here. Where's the HYDRA? I guess it does show, doesn't it? All right, well, there you go. What's up, Chris? I actually don't remember how many missions of Huncraft I was able to play. Do I have a playlists link bookmark? Doesn't look like it. Amazing. Oh, I think Huncraft just wound up in shit campaign, didn't it? Let's take a look. Did I timestamp this? Yeah. It looks like I made it through 5 maps, and then the 5th map I couldn't finish because it was like, if you lose one hive, you lose the whole game, XD. And it was just spawning units in. See if we can paste these out. And yeah, for now we'll use the Scantalus graphic for the Convolus. That's a pretty tough situation to be in, man. Oh, Iquare, you might actually have some utility from these graphics that I found from some old Star Wars RTS. I'm not going to be able to put any of them to use myself, I don't think, but maybe in the future. So I'll stuff these in my graphics package thing. These are just some selections I made from the graphics here. It was just a total conversion for Starcraft. A lot of the graphics were pretty junk, so. But at least that's one less folder on my desktop. I still have to port these Twilight assets to other tile sets for this purpose of having the sprites work. Never did finish those. I think I did most of the common ones, though, so it's just goofy things now. Oh, we're not even halfway done processing these. Close that. What do we got here? Adjust, shoutout, weapon stats, add, or remove a kiss record passive. Let's get rid of that stuff. All right. Let me find as well the unit def entries for the Orchestra Court. It's 218. The the wireframe that I think it was made by June Threong. Maybe it was made by the original guys. I don't know. Either way, whoever made the wireframe, it looks pretty decent actually. It looks completely reasonable, but obviously the graphic itself not looking too hot. All right, let's See where we're at here. A little over halfway. Okay. Save this. I guess I'll build the latest plugin too. I'll see if I even can. It keeps yelling at me about uint32 and uint8 for some reason. Oh, I probably downloaded the other desktop folder. Oh, it builds, but it still highlights all of these as red for no reason because Visual Studio is very well programmed itself. Somebody should build Visual Studio inside Visual Studio and see how many errors they get. Fucking idiots. You'd think these people would not have some stupid, horribly edited voiceover in the middle of the electronic music, just pissing me off the entire time, but I guess they wanted me to skip it, and I didn't, so it's my own fault. Alright, we got that, Still editing this. Okay. Yeah, I had that poll, and I don't think a single person voted for... Nobody voted for before. 9 people voted for after. In terms of after the lag is resolved and after the instability are resolved. I was wondering, like, oh, are people interested in doing mapcraft? But nobody voted to start immediately. Everybody voted to wait until after we fixed issues. I actually wonder how everything is performing right now, but I guess I'll run a quick test while I wait for Photoshop to finish up. Spawn 0, 12, 1. Okay, that doesn't crash anymore. Spawn golem. Yeah, this passive still doesn't work. I do like that idea, to be honest. Alright, spawn with N, spawn Cantavis, 1, 1, spawn Gorg. Of course. Okay, that's working now. Simulacrums do not split. Well, they still don't split, so. Alright, I guess I'll do another test of that just really quickly. The only other thing that was broken, I think, were the observance overlays. Spawn simul 3, spawn mutal 1, 1. 2B 1, 1. Yeah, it's just not splitting. Golems are broken, simulacrums don't split, and what else do we got? Oh yeah, Observance was the other one. I was testing if Gorger cores were dealing damage to energy through shields because they weren't before. Spawn. 12-1. Spawn. And earlier, obviously the Observance is supposed to stay around, but it doesn't refresh correctly. Even though, as you can see here, it is refreshing. Like, according to the status anyway, it has Observance. This is also done in a very strange way, where the Seraph doesn't refresh the timer by being nearby. Instead, it checks if there's a Seraph when the timer expires, and if there is, it resets it, which is really whack and actually quite confusing. And does it's 100% going to lead to some issues later on. I don't know why the overlay disappears though. This overlay seems very strange that it would go away. I don't know that I ever would have used them, to be honest. I do like that these little balls light up when they're in range. That's a really nice subtle read that DF put together. And for some reason, it gets called when when they're launching a nuke as well, which is maybe a bit confusing, but still, like, in terms of like, oh, is it observance or is he launching a nuke? But it's still pretty cool. Like, if we get a nuke real quick, I'll show you guys what I mean. I don't know what just happened. Did my ion cannon shoot them? No. Wait, what happened? Why did they just die? Nobody knows. There we go. Yeah, it only blinks once. But brutalized. They didn't even get a chance to be irradiated. Oh shit, he actually fired. Yeah, DF made a new indicator. Slightly larger and flashier. So, Veek, the only thing I didn't have pulled just now is the float types. I don't think that is relevant to Simulacrum's splitting, but I can rebuild. Maybe it is some issue. Oh, you know what? I'm building to fast debug instead of actual release. So that's just me being a dummy, don't worry about it. Let's take a listen, take a look. We need to fix golems, we need to fix that overlay, and we need to fix the medic shit. And then the cleric stuff. I don't actually know if there's anything else. I think all of the other bugs that I reported were fixed. I think Photoshop's done now, so I can quickly grab Scantilisk Shad. Great. That's not what I want to know. What's wrong with you? Sounds like I should actually build this on fast debug then. pretty incredible that adding 2 type defs, well, I guess any character at all, and where you added those type defs means that I've got to recompile the entire plugin. All right, let's take a look. When are the crashes? Oh, it just crashes immediately. Well, presumably you can debug this, but I guess I'll do it too. It's crashing on get generic value. Returned null pointer. I'll screenshot this for you. Yeah, it would be nice if you could fix that, because we are in the middle of actually trying to do stuff that requires us to be able to launch the game, so. Actually, I don't know what iCore is doing, but I'm assuming he's trying to test a couple of things about the CCMU extender. Okay, let's do this. Say, I don't really think we need that, actually. Let's close that, go to desktop. We'll say Convolusk extras. Really just need these, I think. 214. Whatever, we'll just do the whole thing. It's 297. Okay. Yeah, unit Zerg. Paste these. Now we have to go into ARR images TBL and then define our new files. HYDRA Zerg ekistracore.grp. HYDRA Zerg convolusk.grp. And then Zerg 1285 is the last one of those. Close this. All right, 355 and 356. So this would be Convolusk. This would be Ekistracore. Yeah, okay, we'll do that. Take this, move it up there. This is Ekistracore and Convolusk. Oh, I actually have an open unit stat. Jump into sprites, check Flingy. For the Convolusk, we probably want something like Mutalisk, 1707, yeah, all that. And then, obviously, 11140 for the, or sorry, yeah, I meant for the Ekistracore there, but that's fine. 127, movement type is 2. In sprites, we're going to jump to Spirant. We'll say HYDRA, Convolesque, Remnants. HYDRA core is 687. And then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. I think it's just 5 for now. Let's see what happens. All right. HYDRA core. Okay, let's take a look at the other birth stuff. Gorger core. What do we want for Convolesque? I guess we would want the same thing as like the Gorger core or something. This is 576. 1362. HYDRA Zerg, HYDRA core. Oops. 1363. HYDRA core Shadow. Okay. Let's take a look at the graphic itself. So 0. And then 7, 8, 9, 10. Or 8, 9A, B, C, D. Okay. Okay. I'm just kind of guessing here based on the animations that I've seen that maybe not. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I guess you're just supposed to go straight to 0, 0. Okay. Oh, good work. Well, wait, you mean the crash or Global's crash? Skull not working. Cool. I will build that and vet your information, homie. If that is the case, it must have been broken a long time ago. Because I added Vassal Terminal Surge like I want to say like more than 3 months ago. Just want the idle animation, but with weight 1 instead. It wouldn't surprise me, I'll say that much. I have not actually even... I don't think I've seen KKND2. But if there's a dump of the graphics... Sure. Even this railgun tank looks serviceable. Not sure about everything, but... Is there like a... What's up, Balethal? I hit you up with some feedback on the latest version of the graphic. Your Win95 computer, by the way. Yeah, I can't see much information on that website, so... If anybody happens to have, like, a graphics dump of RTS games like that, then that would be pretty cool. Yeah, it looks like the feet are a little bit of an issue still. I think the biggest problem, I mean, for one, we don't have a shadow. I haven't rendered a shadow for it, even like a demo shadow. But I think the other issue is because they are darker, it also stops them from seeming before we address anything with like textures or whatever, you might just want to try to upscale the whole model by like, or maybe just zoom the camera in more. I don't actually know how you would do this, but if you can make the model like 10% bigger and see what that looks like, then that might actually be the ticket out. But it does look better with the alterations that you made to like denoise and do some other issues like the samples or whatever. Hopefully that doesn't make it significantly annoying for your render or whatever. Like, hopefully it doesn't slow things down. But I think that would make a decent amount of sense personally. So let's take a look at the Quasilisk. I never did make a death animation for the Quasilisk. HYDRA, Zerg, Convalisk. Also, apologies if there's any background thumping. There's neighbor moving in upstairs, so they're bringing all the furniture in and shit. 1363. 1364. Bonk. That bonk was not my neighbor, that was me. Alright, we'll quickly jump all this in. The ISID is 577 for the Convalisk. 576 for the HYDRA core. Okay. Convalisk Beth. What is this ISID? 13? I think I copied that over, didn't I? No, doesn't look like it. 1. Alright, whatever. Should be fine. Yeah, a lot of the defaults will be poisonous to our assets instead of actually being useful, because obviously we are not a default use case. Not using one right now anyway. Alright, let's fire this graphic up in PyGRP to preview what pain we are about to experience. The fuck is the rest of the Convalisk stuff? I only see the birth here. Oh, it's probably towards the bottom because Windows Explorer is functional. Okay, so it looks like the ground attack... Where's ground attack anyway? I'll fuck around with the... oh, actually, let me see what the ground attack looks like anyway. Ground attack init. All right, looks like we're looking at 4, 4. Oh wait, no, we're 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 4. And then walking is 5, 6, 7. To B. I don't know if we're supposed to use the first frame as part of the walk cycle, but we shall see. Right, 4 here. Oh, you know what's kind of a problem is I wanted to hard code the Blackjack's movement speed to be somewhere in between some of the stuff that I have now without using variable amounts of movement, because that obviously causes pathfinding issues. And I don't think I can do that because there's also another unit speed check that slows it down. So we would have to do some really psychotic math. But maybe I'm just imagining something. Maybe it's not that big of a deal. I won't touch the borrow shit right now. We know we're going to use 0 and then 5, 6, 7, 6, 5. 5, 6, 7, 6, 5. Oh, this is like 1, 2. 1. Okay. That should be an idle anim. Let's see what it looks like with that then. Built the release plugin. Fire this up. Close that. Close that. Close that. Oh, I never set the proper image entry. So 1363 for the convolus. Convolus remnants will be 1365? No, 6. And then obviously 1286. Okay. And then where's my PyDat? Here it is. 66. 63, and then a Kistra core is 61. And then I guess 687, we'll find this is 24014, 24014. We'll find Hydralisk, which is 12511, and we'll do 22511. I guess we'll do like 32 or something, and then a Kistra core can be like 44, and maybe, I don't know. I guess we'll see what it looks like in game. Now we just need to go into units, and I wanted to know if I actually set these units up according to the stats that I gave them. So we have 5100. Well, that's obviously not the case. 5100, 20, 3 supply, and then hit points 200. Okay, it looks like maybe just the mineral cost was out of whack. We go to the convolus now. This is 7550, 20, 161. Okay, let's try that on for size. And they do actually have their weapon entries, which is cool. Looks like those are implemented as well. Okay. Oh yeah, and then I actually have to take the last frame of the death animation. Where's Convolus? Wait, they didn't even do the animation correctly. Whatever. Let's take this. Hey. Alright. We compare this to the Basilisk death. We have 0, 1, 2, 3. So we're gonna have to have 4 versions of this, basically. All right, let's take a look. So let's do 128 times. This is just 512, so. Oh, you goofball. 512. Getting arrested. Oh, I just realized, since I'm changing the dimensions of these, I don't think they're actually going to line up correctly, but whatever. I'll fix that later. All right, there you go. Pretty piss easy, quick and dirty one that I'll update later if need be. Frame 4, 3, frame 2, and frame 1. I don't know, maybe it is okay? I guess we'll just see it in game. That will tell us a lot. Okay. Shadow Flare, where are you? And why haven't you given the code away? All right, let's see here. I guess we can close this. Jump that in there. Called death, and go to graphics. Obelisk, paste that there. All right. Let's take a peek. I guess the data rewrite didn't go correctly, or the image not correct. Let's see. Well, Convolusk is apparently GRP 1283, which should be fine. Sprite ID 688. Fungi 356. Unit 217. All that shit checks out. So 356. 356 points to 688. And Sprite 688 points to 1363. 1363 points to GRP 1283. And GRP 1283 is the convolusk.grp. Well, something's not adding up here, so maybe no, that's correct as well. 1364 points to, yeah. What the fuck? Numerology. Is 217 overwritten somewhere else? Nope. Yeah, it's because it's still being updated. Why? Why are you a scourge? Let's quickly check the hex correctly. $217 is D9, yeah, correct. He is. I don't know why the convolusk is being fooked in that manner. I guess I can double check that the unit even works correctly on a normal day. Let's go into the unit preset, status preset, 217. Yeah, normal unit, normal unit. If I look at convolusk, it obviously has the button set. And then, yeah, I guess that is something I do need to do in button set CPP anyway, is enable the button. Oh wait, this one doesn't have a passive. Okay. What was that? Well, there was no unsaved file anywhere, so yeah, I really don't know what could be the problem. Minimize. It definitely seems like something is not connecting correctly. But like I was just looking, 688 points to... to 1363. Oh. So that is supposed to be like that. So... 1363 is the convolusk ID here as well. Not that that even matters. 577 is the iScript entry. 22, 1283. Yeah, I'm not really sure why there would be any issues at all. At least that works now. Oh yeah, look at this guy. He's also a scourge for no reason. Oops. Maybe it's like a file isn't being updated or something, but I don't see how that's possible. Like if I look at unit HYDRA Zerg, Convolesque is right here. So, not really sure what's going on there. It's almost as if, like, Images EXT didn't update or something. That is very bizarre. I don't know what the fuck could be causing that. All right. Think that'll be it for now. Mostly because my music is out and because I've got to make a phone call. But how much taller do I think the Ecclesia sprite should be? Let me take a look at those comparison shots that I sent you. I actually think the height is probably fine. I guess the problem is that the helmet is like... So the Protoss heads are thin but long. And this guy is a bit more like normal looking in that sense, which is probably okay. Like it probably doesn't need to be squished or anything. I think it's just that the legs are obviously dwarfed by the zealot legs. I think that's probably the main issue. So maybe we don't even need to. I'll take a look at what you've done so far whenever I get a sec. If you want to send that like a render over to me, and then yeah, maybe we can just continue to iterate on there. I don't think that the height is a major issue, but the proportions of some of the other parts of the body are, and maybe it's just the legs. Like I don't really know, but I don't know. I also don't know if it's feasible to make the legs larger without obviously making the unit taller in that sense, right? So let's take a look. I'll quickly boot this up and we will see where it goes. Okay, and then I have to obviously process this as a BMP. What? Oh yeah, I didn't remove the shadow call, so try that. So we are mostly comparing it to the Zealot here. I think these are fine proportions, generally speaking, but yeah, I think it's probably just the... If I had to guess, it's probably just like the one is the lack of shadows, and the other one is the fact that the feet and legs are very thin. That's probably what throws it off. This is still totally fine as like a placeholder if we want to just get to animating, but I'll leave that decision up to you if you think you have a couple of other ways that you want to try to make it look a little bit nicer, a little bit more in line with the Protoss proportions, so to speak. But it's certainly coming along. I do think that the 1 pixel taller thing you did helped it out a little bit in the size department, which is nice. But yeah, if you want to just see where we're at there, mess with the lower legs and feet some more. Yeah, that could do the trick. We'll just have to wait and see where things go, but I'm definitely excited to see it in action when it's all animated and all that shit. So that'll be pretty nice. For now, I will bail out. I'll be around if Balethal or anybody else, if Veek or whatever, if you guys have some info for me or some tests or whatever, something you want me to do or look at, let me know, obviously. Just send me a DM or whatever. Aside from that, I'll catch you guys later today for some Fraud Strike action. And if I don't see you before tomorrow, have a splendid Easter, homies.